1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hey, how's it going?
Stop it.
I am a robot.
Hi, my name is Reagan, and this is my narrative story speech. It's about my friend Nick, who was one of my best friends when we were younger, and we would do everything together. He was my neighbor, and he would come over, and we would spend all afternoons just doing nothing. And he was someone I told everything to, and somebody that helped me through my awkward stages in junior high and throughout high school. One of my favorite things that we did together is we had a trampoline when I was little, and we would go outside and we just lay on the trampoline, and we had chalk, and we could draw all over the trampoline, and we'd like write things about people that we didn't like together, which sounds bad, but that's just what best friends did. And it was just something we could erase and just get everything out. When we were in 10th grade, our sophomore year, he'd been having a great year. We'd both been having a great year, and there was like nothing wrong. And it was around homecoming time. He had just asked his girlfriend to homecoming, and me and his girlfriend were friends, so it was really cool that we all got to go together. And he was working, and his parents went out of town for the weekend, so he was home alone. And when he was home alone, he kept a gun in the house just to, feel safer, which is understandable. But when you think about it now, it probably wasn't the best idea. He was cleaning his gun and forgot to unload it, and it went off, and he died instantly. That was probably the worst experience I've ever had. And when I found out, I was at home on a Sunday, and I was on Facebook just like mindlessly doing what teenage girls do, and this guy that texted me I don't really talk to anymore, and he texted me and told me that Nick had killed himself, and I was like, that is not true, like that could not have happened. I knew who he was, and he wasn't depressed, or he wasn't like looking for a way out, and it was devastating. So I was like, this can't happen. And so I went up to the church that we attended, where our youth pastor sat everybody down. There was a bunch of people there, and told us that it had happened, but it wasn't his fault, and that's when the whole cleaning the gun happened. And the reason they ruled it out as not as a suicide is because he had his phone next to him with messages on it, and his work shirt was in the dryer, like he was ready to go to work, and it wasn't a suicide. And I don't know if I could accept that, even if it was. So when I found out, I was devastated, and it was hard to take. I didn't know how to like cope with it. I had my friends and my family, but I didn't, like, how do you talk about that when you're a sophomore in high school? How do you deal with your best friend shooting himself accidentally? And then there was like the harassment of people who found out and would tell me, oh, you're the girl whose best friend shot himself, and like, why? What happened? Like, why didn't you try and help him? And it took me a while to like accept that it wasn't his fault and that I had nothing to do with it. I loved him. I loved our friendship and how we could trust each other with anything, and how we didn't like grow apart when high school came along. And he was one of my best friends, and it was just like it's a life situation that no high schooler should have to go through, and I feel like more people go through it than they should. And when something like this happens, you kind of just have to take it and learn how to cope with it and talk to family and talk to friends, and don't hold it in, because that is what sucks, is having this like pent up stress and being mad for no reason, because like it wasn't my fault. What I took away from all the years of like trying to get over it was I have no idea who's going to be in my life for how long, and how I treat people is a big deal to me now. Because of course we had our fights, and now that like I look back at it, they were totally not over anything worth fighting over. And it's so stupid, all the little things we get mad at, but that's just who we are, who we were. And also not to like take life for granted. I know that's really cliche for people to say who've like lost a lot, but you can't do that. When you lose somebody, you have to accept they're gone and kind of live out how you would want like other people to live their life out for you, and not do everything for them, but just like have them with you, like know that they're with you, and know that you're not alone in this, and other people have gone through it, and don't be like scared to do stuff, to like keep going, and don't give up, you know, like if you fail, you fail, and just keep going. I love Nick, and this year will be his 3rd anniversary, and it's gonna suck, and I am not looking forward to it. It's still like I still remember the feeling and the like anger I had towards him for being that stupid, for having a loaded gun and not double, triple checking it to make sure it wasn't loaded. I went to his funeral, and I couldn't even like look into the casket. I didn't want to, and I didn't want to have that memory of him like that with me. So I carry who I knew as a kid, who would go out on the trampoline with me and draw dumb pictures, or you know, just talk about life. I don't take life for granted anymore, and I don't think anybody else should. We don't know how long that we have here, or how long we have people in our life. And that is my speech.